When I introduce people to the Journey Neighbourhood Centre, I usually tell them that we are in a challenged community. Well, what does a challenged community look like? Well, let me use the pandemic as an example because I think that really brought out many of the challenges that people face here. This is a low-income community. In fact, right now in the GTA, a livable wage is $23 an hour. Well, how do you live when you're making minimum wage or you're on disability or, you can't. And so when COVID hit, those challenges became even greater, and especially after COVID when we had inflation, all of a sudden food, how do you put food on the table, much less anything else? As well, when COVID hit, the schools were shut down and they went to online learning. Well, how does a child learn online when you don't have a computer and you don't have internet access? You can't. Yes, they gave out tablets, but the tablets were not very good. A lot of them malfunctioned. And so the children fell further and further behind. And this is a community that when we surveyed it at the very beginning said, our children's education is paramount. That's why we offer after-school programming for the kids. So we're in a challenged community, and we're here to meet the needs of this community. How do we do that? Well, as I said before, we have after-school programming for the children. We also have women's programming. We have a sewing club. We've had seniors programming. Before COVID, we didn't distribute food, but when COVID hit and since then, we now distribute food to our community. In fact, we will do anything and everything we can to serve this community. If people need to access the internet, they can come in, use a computer, they can use our printer, they can fax, whatever they need to do. But let's be frank, that costs money. Now, the Journey has been very generously funded by the United Way, by the City of Brampton, by the Region of Peel, by the Province of Ontario, and by the Government of Canada. We also have wonderful support from Rotary, Kiwanis, Zonta, and Lions clubs here in this community. We have grants and all kinds of funding, but the needs are great, greater than the funding that we get. And so, like many other registered charities, we fundraise. So when the Journey decided to fundraise, we chose the Ride for Refuge very deliberately because it is a fun family event. A family can come and walk the Etobicoke Creek Trail together or ride their bicycles on the trail, and they can raise funds and support the Journey as we reach out to our community. So how can you help the Journey? Well, first of all, obviously, we need people who can walk and ride. We also need people who will donate money, who will sponsor those who are walking and riding along the trail. We also need volunteers, especially the day of the Ride for Refuge, because we need people to set up the trail, put the signs along the trail, to watch over the trail, be at the rest stops, to register people, to give out the swag and the food at the end, to be a part of what basically becomes a festival day. So we would encourage you, in fact, we would ask you to support the Journey. Come out for the Ride for Refuge. Walk, ride, sponsor, be a part of the team of volunteers, and do what you can so that the Journey can serve this community well. So thank you very much for watching this video all the way to the end. We appreciate that. Somewhere down below will be something saying Ride for Refuge, and we'll put a link down in the description on the YouTube channel. If you're looking it up, all you have to do is Google Ride for Refuge, and you click on that, find our location. We're the only ones doing this in Brampton, so it's easy to find us, and all the information you need is right there. So thank you very much.